Blizzard Entertainment really set the mold for the hero shooter subgenre all the way back in 2016 with the release of Overwatch. Overwatch continued to grow in popularity, spread across the world, and really swelled all the way up until the release of Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 acted more like an update, and it actually replaced and retired Overwatch 1. A lot of people, myself included, were very displeased with this maneuver, and with Overwatch deposed, many developers have sought to fill that void. Here are 5 such titles that you can expect to play in 2024 and 25. Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is the closest in similarity to Overwatch, but taking from their actual Wikipedia page here, quote, Marvel Rivals is an upcoming hero shooter video game developed and published by NetEase Games in collaboration with Marvel Games. The game is set to release for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. The game will be free to play, with a current lineup of 23 characters from the Marvel Comics. There was a beta that was held, and it had very positive reception, ourselves included. We recently learned that Captain America is the latest planned addition to that game, and really given the size and scope of the MCU, the possibilities are endless. Deadpool, anyone? XDefiant. Ubisoft's XDefiant is another strong contender for your time this year. Quote, XDefiant is a 2024 free-to-play, first-person shooter game developed and published by Ubisoft. The game was released for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S in May of this year. This entry fits onto this list if we slightly stretch the definition of hero shooter to include Ubisoft-specific factions. These factions include the Cleaners from The Division, Echelon from Splinter Cell, DedSec from Watch Dogs, and several others from Ubisoft properties. The game plays out a lot more like Call of Duty objective matches than the other games in this list. There are very strong player numbers, averaging 1.6 million players monthly, and the constant slate of Ubisoft releases ensures that there's going to be a very long roadmap for this game to come. Concord. Concord is an upcoming first-person hero shooter game. This is developed by Firewalk Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. The game is scheduled to release for PlayStation 5 and Windows in August of 2024. This game is not free to play. Gameplay consists of FPS staples and character abilities. A big focus on this game was the characters featured in the game's announcement trailer. The initial reaction from the gaming community was a long, let-out groan, a sigh, as comparisons between Concord and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy arose. These concerns were somewhat appeased by a beta that was held mid-July, and early sales numbers will truly indicate whether this game will sink or swim.
I swear I will be.
Oh, look, there they are.
FragPunk. First announced at the Xbox Summer Showcase of 2024, I'm going to take from the game's official website here, quoting, FragPunk is a fast-paced 5v5 hero shooter with power-up cards that change the rules of combat. Choose your hero, tweak your weapon loadout, and pick from a selection of cards that change every round to gain the upper hand against your opponents. In this free-to-play game, players will be divided into 2 teams of 5 and will get to select gameplay-modifying cards before entering each round. Your goal for each round will either be to plant a converter in the zones or defend the zones against the attackers to destroy the point and secure victory. FragPunk is on track for full release on Microsoft Windows and the Xbox platform in 2025. We partook in a closed alpha test of this game, and we found it to be a lot more approachable than games like Valorant were. Valorant. Valorant is a free-to-play first-person tactical shooter developed and published by Riot Games. Valorant is a modern and fantasy version of the Counter-Strike formula from the early 2000s. As such, the game consists of one team defending points on the map to prevent the attackers from destroying them. This is also known as Search and Destroy in other games. Released in June 2020, it was originally designed for Windows only, but support for the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 were added in June of 2024, and that is why we're including it in this list. That was just 5 of the hero shooters that you could expect to play in 2024 and 2025, Competition is really heating up in this space, and Blizzard really has to consider what their options are going to be if they're going to follow up Overwatch 2 and reclaim the crown of the hero shooter. But we want to hear from you. What hero shooters are you interested in, if any? ITGTV.com.